On behalf of everyone at WNET, congratulations to Steve Adubato and the Caucus Educational Corporation on 25 great years of broadcasting.
Hi, I'm Bob Garrett. Hackensack University Medical Center believes that all citizens need to be informed about the important health issues that affect their daily lives. That's why we're proud to support programming produced by the Caucus Educational Corporation and their partners in public television.
This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Hackensack University Medical Center, Berkeley College, TD Bank, Qualcare Inc., a local managed care company covering 750,000 New Jersey residents, the law firm of Gibbons PC, Verizon Communications, and by the Russell Berry Foundation.
This is One-on-One.
That's good acting, man.
I get that a lot. I go to Atlantic City all the time, like, are you the guy? I go, no, I'm not.
This is one you can't afford to miss.
They thought that I wouldn't survive it, but I knew I would.
I'm Steve Adubato here at our Lincoln Center studio. I'm honored to introduce Gayle King, who is the co-host of CBS This Morning and editor-at-large at the Oprah Magazine. It is an honor and pleasure to have you at our Tisch WNET studio.
That's how I feel about being here. It's an honor to be here, Steve, at the Tisch studio. I'm just wondering, did you forget to pay the heating bill? Shall I leave you a credit card, a check, a couple of bucks? It is freezing in here.
Yeah, we should let folks know that you can't. Maybe you can see it. Could you see the coming out of our? It's about 50. Terry's about 54 degrees, something like that.
Yes, I'm going to say if you have hot flashes, come to Steve's. It will totally get rid of it. So thank you.
Well, thank you for being here and enduring.
I'm thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled to be here.
You do have a great life. We were just talking about this. A typical day in the life of Gayle King is you get up at.
Yep, the alarm goes off at 3:30. I lay there for a second, just reflecting on the day. I actually get up and bathe, Steve. I bathe every day, use deodorant and everything. Car picks me up at 4:30, and then it's off to the races.
You get there to the CBS studio.
So then I'm there at CBS studio. We have meetings before the show. We go over the show. I do hair and makeup because it takes a couple hours to look this cute. You know, when I wake up, that's
your team over there?
This is not the finished product. Yeah, Charlie's very good with hair. Yeah, that is the team, me, Charlie, and Nora.
That's right.
And, so then after we get off the air, we have a meeting, and then I go to my second job, which is at The Oprah Magazine, and we've been doing that since year 2000, so this is year 12. So knock on wood, I'm thinking, really, no, don't cry for me, Argentina, so far so good.
You see, you don't complain. I mean, some people say, wow, that's a lot of hours, that's a lot of pressure, and you say?
It is, but why? How can you possibly complain when you get to do this kind of work? And we get to meet, and listen, I'm not talking, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You get to meet the people we get to meet, talk to the people we get to talk to, go the different places. What is there to complain about, really? I don't get enough sleep, okay.
You know, it's so true. We get ready. First of all, this studio is a great place for us because you get a lot of folks who might not otherwise have the chance to come to our Jersey studio across the river, folks who, because it's more accessible here. Because put it this way, on the other half of the show we have Ed Asner. Not bad.
Oh, I know.
Not bad, right?
Mr. Grant.
Right?
Yeah, that's how I know him.
Let me ask you, can we go back to the 70s?
Mr. Grant.
Can we go back to the 70s?
Yes, let's.
Now, people may not know.
Let's go, Steve.
Your extensive career in broadcasting.
Yeah.
Before they see you every morning on the CBS morning show, talk about how you started, where you started. It was not in Baltimore.
No, you know, my first job was in Washington. I went to University of Maryland, majored in psychology, had nothing to do with journalism, and just sort of, I was working in a newsroom. I got hooked in the newsroom. I got hooked with TV news.
What was it?
You know, they had a breaking news story. Steve, it was a breaking news story, and I was so excited by the hustle and bustle and watching everybody run around and be the first person to tell you something. I just thought, I was a production assistant at the time, you know, where I'm saying, Steve, do you need any chyrons? You know, do you have your scripts ready? You know, I was that kid. And I just became fascinated with the process of putting the news together and being the first person to tell you something. You know, I love that you can go to bed at night and you can wake up the next day and the world can be totally changed. And when you turn on your TV, sometimes we are the first person to tell you something. I I get high off of that. That to me is such a natural high. So, I went to University of Maryland. I went to Baltimore as a production assistant / writer. Went back to D.C. as a reporter trainee.
Whoa. Where was the on-camera thing always there for you?
My first on-camera job was in Kansas City, Missouri.
You went out there?
Yeah.
Was it back in the day where they used to tell us, hey, you want to get on air, you have to go to a quote-unquote smaller market?
But that's true. That's still true.
Media markets changed a lot, but that's still true.
I absolutely think that's true.
Go ahead.
I was just talking to somebody, a young person at CBS came to me and asked me, they're interested in getting on air. What do they suggest? And I love people. And I said, well, number one, you ain't going to be able to start at CBS and get an on-air job.
Not in New York.
I was going to say, you can't really even start in New York. When I first started, I took out the broadcast yearbook. There are 212 markets in the country. I sat there with that broadcast yearbook. I said, I don't want to go past this Missouri River. I wanted to stay on the East Coast. I looked at from 1 to 30. I knew I couldn't get in the top 10. I thought maybe I could do 20 to 30. And then I said, I want to go to a market that has a sports team because I believe sports gives an energy to a city, even if you're not into sports. So I applied to all these places, and I ended up in Kansas City, which at the time had 3 sports teams. I moved to Kansas City. I got a job. I was hired. I got involved in Big Brothers Big Sisters, and that's where my career really started in Kansas City, Missouri, 1979.
And you meet your friend who has had a fairly her career has been somewhat.
What's my friend's name?
It really hasn't been that impressive career, but
She's doing all right.
You meet Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah, we met in
Baltimore, right?
Yes.
It did. Now our president emeritus, Bill Baker.
Yes.
Right. See the connection?
Gosh, yes.
7 degrees.
6 degrees of separation.
Not even 7 degrees. I got that wrong,
6
Kevin
degrees.
Bacon. Sorry. 6
no,
degrees.
Because Bill Baker hired Oprah for Westinghouse at WJZ.
He sat right in that chair 2 months ago telling the same story, and he told us about you too. So here's the deal. He hires her. You're in that whole world.
We know Bill Baker, yeah.
Did you connect right away with her?
I did because we were 21 and 22 at the time. We're now 57 and 58, but we were both young, single. We're still black. We were still, we had a lot of
Funny,
philosophies.
I hadn't noticed.
You had I'm actually cinnamon brown with a dollop of caramel. But we had a lot of similar interest. All kidding aside, we had a lot of similar interest. And we just connected. We were friends. We were friends practically right away. And of course, we've been friends ever since.
And as you go on with your media career, you're doing all sorts of things. She's doing her thing. As you're moving forward, as the media landscape's changing, are you saying to yourself, because in so many ways, you've achieved so much throughout your career, but in many ways, you're at, I don't want to say you're really on the top, but you are really on the top of your game right now. Why?
I still feel that I'm a work in progress. I don't care how good you are or how good you think you are. There is always something to learn. I really do believe that. And I approach every day that way. Am I having a great life? Do I think I'm doing okay? I absolutely do. But I also know that there's always ways to get better, always. So I never sit and think, okay, there's nothing more to accomplish. You're really at the top. I don't look at it that way. I still feel that I can do better, be better, even as great as this is. Listen, I'm working at CBS Morning News. I could have never dreamed this dream for myself.
They came to you.
Yeah, they came. Listen.
What do you think they saw?
Believe me, I wasn't calling them, saying, hello, CBS, I'm here.
What do you think, and again, our mutual friend, Chris Lick over there, your executive producer I worked with at MSNBC, great guy.
Yes.
Great energy over
very
there.
smart, very smart guy.
What do you think it is they saw in you to do morning TV? Because you and Charlie together was, on paper, I thought, that's an interesting combination. What do you think they saw?
No, Steve. Okay, let's be for real.
Go ahead.
When you first heard that they were doing Charlie Rose and Gayle King, didn't you go, what?
Yes.
And then was your second
But then
thought,
I watched, and I thought, this is interesting.
No,
and then I want to watch again.
No, I think people went, then they went, then they went, oh.
Okay, right. But there's something there. Did you feel it right away?
Well, I feel that we have two different styles. I knew Charlie socially because, I'd seen him out and about. And Charlie Rose, of course, is a legend and an icon.
Sure he is.
So, I didn't personally know him. But, when we started working together, I think we get a kick out of each other, to be honest with you. I think we get a kick out of each other. I think that there are some days that he sits there and he goes, what just happened?
Right.
Then there are other days where he'll go, this is really a lot of fun. And I feel the same about him. There really is nobody like him. Chris, let's go back to Chris Lick. You know, you said, what did he see? You know, he was a big muckety muck at Morning Joe.
Sure he was.
And they would have me on Morning Joe. You know, they always have a cast of characters coming in. And I think he saw something in my exchanges with Mika and Joe that was different than other people. And he took it to CBS, and CBS said, oh, okay, well, she certainly wasn't something we thought about, but maybe. And then, you know, I had meetings with them, and then the rest is January 9th, 2012. There we are.
One more question, Gayle, about the TV side before we go to the magazine side. The key to morning television, because obviously there's lots of competition with the Today Show, and ABC show's not doing bad either.
Oh, no.
Right?
Good Morning America's kicking butt, no
Right.
question.
What do you believe most people are looking for when they wake up early in the morning, they turn on one station or the other?
I think they have to be comfortable with the people that they're watching. If they don't like you, if they're not interested in you, it doesn't matter how good you are. People want to feel connected to the people they're watching in the morning. That really is number one. And then after that, they have to like the format of the show. They have to feel that not only are they comfortable with you, but they have to feel that the people who are on the air are comfortable with each other.
Yeah, do they have to believe you like each other?
I think they have to feel that you all don't mind hanging out together, yes.
And that's not fake.
Well,
over that many hours,
can't
it's hard to be fake.
I can't fake it, Charlie can't fake it, and I know Nora can't fake it. So, you know, and if you are faking it, I think the audience senses that. So they have to believe that the two of you, however you do it, you know, I was going to say at Channel 3, back to my local days. At CBS, I say we have a menage a trois. They have to feel that you two, that the three of you get along. And I think that they sense that. I think they sense that.
Some of the keys to, the Oprah Magazine. By the way, I love your column there. It's very personal and stuff.
The world according to Gayle. We looked high and low. What shall we call that, Steve?
I love it. Can I tell you one of the ones I really like here as I was going through this? Because we have something else in common.
What?
Right? Other than the fact I'm from Newark and I know you're a big fan of Cory Booker's.
Yes,
that's my hometown.
No, I love Cory Booker.
No kidding.
Not big fan. I love him.
No kidding. Yeah. But you're also a big fan of Boardwalk Empire because you talked about Stephen Buscemi there. You're excited about. I love Boardwalk Empire. Why do you love it?
Oh my gosh, because Nucky Thompson, you never know what he's going to do. And here is a guy who looks, you know, sort of like an ordinary guy who is like a badass.
Bad.
He's with the women, with the men.
Yeah.
You know, he's not like he's a big strapping guy, but he's such a good actor that you get caught up in it. You know, my new discovery is Homeland. I just discovered Homeland and Downton Abbey. And I like Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad is good.
Breaking Bad is really good, really good.
And you're not, are you real quick, 1 minute left. Are you a fan of, we had Andy Cohen sitting right in that seat not too long ago.
I love him.
Come on, Housewives, the Housewives series, no? Talk about going from PBS to downstream.
I don't know anything about Carolyn, Teresa, Melissa.
Look at you.
I don't know anything about
those guys. You gave that
guys.
up.
No.
Just by knowing. You love
I know nothing about them.
So to recap, you love getting up at 3:30 in the morning.
Caroline, the Countess.
Yes, don't start talking about
Ramona.
the LA. Oh, stop. I've had enough Pinot Grigio. So here it is.
Pinot Grigio.
That's it. The fact that I know scares me.
Don't be tardy to the party.
That song is.
Okay.
This is PBS. We just only do that for research.
Sorry,
Here's the deal.
Steve,
to recap, you love getting up at 3:30. You take the bath right after that.
I didn't say I love it.
Hygiene's important. You take the bath right after that. The car picks you up at 4:30.
Yes.
You're there with Charlie and Nora after that. You do that. Then you go to O and you kick butt over there. You got the great magazine going. You love your life.
Yes, I do.
Mark Cuban was recently on your show and he said.
Mark Cuban said back in 2008, if he died and he could come back, if he could come back as anybody, he'd want to come back as him. I asked him the other day, does that still hold true in 2012? He goes, even more so. That ain't a bad thing to say about yourself.
Love it. Listen, every day people can see you. Time again?
CBS This Morning from 7 to 9, and I come on at 8. You should start watching at 7.
Listen, you're terrific. We appreciate
Thank you,
being
Steve.
here.
Thank you. That's very nice of you.
It doesn't warm up a little bit?
I was just going to say, you took the words out of my mouth. It's warming up.
Gayle, it's an honor to have you. A pleasure.
No, I feel that too. Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you very much.
People ask why you love your job here at PBS and all of our great shows.
We love our job.
Will you get out of the
Okay.
See, when Gayle's in
We
the
love
shot.
our job.
See?
Okay, sorry.
This is why I love my job. We'll be right back right after this from the Tisch WNET studios at the beautiful Lincoln Center. Thank you, Gayle.
Beautiful.
If you would like more information on this program, or if you'd like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Visit us online at oneonone.org. Or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato, PhD.
You're looking at the legendary Ed Asner, actor, Broadway, currently in the Broadway play Grace. You may know him from a little character he played back in the 1970s. Lou Grant on The Mary Tyler Moore Show, a 50-year career, 7 Emmy Awards, 5 Golden Globe Awards. Currently, as I said, on Grace, which is playing at the Court Theater, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good to see you, Mr. Asner.
Good to be here.
Have you?
Thank you.
Now, how is it that you were away from Broadway for 25 years? What's that about?
Well, I came here with Madeline Kahn and Born yesterday, and they hated me. Hated me. Frank Rich began his review by saying, I didn't like this play the first time I saw it. So he went downhill from that. So I guess I crawled out of town. We stayed 5 months. I'm still proud of that, in spite of those horrible reviews. Stayed 5 months, and I was never invited back.
What brought you back this time?
This wonderful play, wonderful role, great cast, great director. Almost can't miss. It's got to please somebody at any time. And we've been pleasing them well because the houses have been full.
And this play is interesting as I read about it. What's fascinating to me is it's about a young couple who heads out to Florida with the idea of opening a chain of gospel-themed hotels. Now, you play a German immigrant named Carl. Now, what's interesting is, as I read about it, the audience sometimes doesn't know how to react to what's going on very often. It's controversial. And is it poking fun at and challenging the fundamentalist view of religion?
I don't know about, well, I guess poking fun by Paul Rudd's brilliant enactment of a born-again Christian, but it discusses the existence or non-existence of God, and we never give you a definitive answer, but as I say at the end, there is something.
Can we see a clip from it?
Perhaps.
Paul Levine, our producer, and our team out in the control room, can we run a clip from this terrific play? Let's go.
Did you go to church growing up, Carl?
Huh?
I said, did you go to church growing up?
Why?
I don't know. Just curious. I've always been interested in people's beliefs.
Are you a Jesus freak?
Well, we're not Jesus freaks.
We are both committed Christians.
Oh, well, I got some news for you.
Oh. All right.
1, there's no Jesus.
Really?
2, there's no God.
Interesting.
3, mind your own business and everything works out.
You love the script, don't you? And one of the other characters, or one of the other actors here was sitting right in there a few months ago, Michael Shannon from Boardwalk Empire. Great actor as well. How much of the decision beyond the script to do this, Ed, is about the cast and wanting to work with the cast?
Well, very much so. Paul Rudd and I are both Kansas City Jewish boys. So I think it was like bestowing a mitzvah on Kansas City by making the job come to life. And he does a brilliant job. They're all brilliant. It is marvelous to be on stage with such 3 accomplished actors.
Before I move away from the play, what is it that you want people, I know this is a cliche question, but I want to ask it anyway. What do you want most people to walk away from with this experience?
You made me think. And we live in a society where thinking seems to be verboten.
Yeah. Let's talk about thinking. You've been challenging, I hate to say the establishment, but that's what it is. You've been challenging all of us to think for a long time. Politically, challenging the status quo. And it has been said that while you had this wildly successful career on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, that the Lou Grant Show, it has been said, was canceled in part because of your politics. That spin-off show. Do you buy that argument?
Yeah.
Make the argument.
Well, there's an apocryphal story that Bill Paley came into the...
From CBS.
Into the scheduling room and saw Lou Grant still on the schedule and said, "What's that doing out there? Get it off there! Get it off there!" It's never been verified. A wonderful CBS vice president came to me, a special trip, to say that they had advertisers standing in line. They were just worried about their Monday nights. I don't buy it. There was just too much attack going on, and I encountered. I then went into something of a blacklist, I guess.
For what, Mr. Asner? For what?
I had advocated our stopping the murderous junta that ruled El Salvador, to allow the people to vote, even if it was a communist government they voted for. And I think that sentence at a press conference is what doomed me and the series.
When you were saying those things you believe deeply, to what degree were you thinking, this is going to hurt my career, to earn a living, to put food on the table? To what degree were you doing that?
Not only put food on the table for me, but for all the people that worked on that show, the 200 people who worked on the show. I was a naive little fart. And,
you were going to say something else, but it is PBS, so go ahead.
And I went in there to answer the questions. They shoved me up front because we had all gone to Washington to announce the existence of our group, which is called Medical Aid to El Salvador. And in the course of the second question, a cable newsman said, "You say you're in favor of free elections in El Salvador. What if they turn out to be a communist government?" And I gave some lame answer, and I went on to the next guy. And I'm thinking the whole time, I can't leave that lameness there. And after I finished with him, I came back and said, I wasn't satisfied with my answer. I would like to tell you that if it's the government the people of El Salvador choose, let them have it. And I felt right then and there that no matter how far I had protected myself, how far I had come, that would doom me, and it did.
But you're still an activist. You're still speaking out.
My agent said, somewhat later, he said he thought I was out the window after that.
Done?
But yeah. But the fact that every time they leveled an attack at me, I kept coming back and responding in print or on air, and it kept me alive. So being kept alive then saved me for another day.
But you know, Ed, we checked out your Facebook page the other day. I'm going to put it up there right now. On your Facebook page, you are advocating, you are an activist, you are talking to people. Let's put up the page right now if we can. You are talking to people about going out there and voting. And it's not just some nice pablum, generic, hey, get out there and vote. You want people to vote for particular reasons, do you not?
Yeah, because let's not make realistic the anarchy we live in. I'm not happy with our system. I'm not happy with the fact that we don't have public financing of our elections, and that our elections will continue to be corrupt as long as private money can keep pouring in and fattening the calves and the bank accounts of the candidates. Who has the most bucks wins.
But it remains political for you in your work, because after you finish up this play Grace, which is at the Court Theater, you're going back to do something that you've been doing for several years, playing FDR, after the paralysis, correct?
Yeah.
You've been doing this for several years.
Well, there is no after the paralysis.
Well, you know what? There is no after. You're right. That shot, that's you, which...
Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
I don't look like him, and I probably don't even sound like him.
What's the passion about FDR and this particular work?
The words, the words. He had a second four freedoms that he delivered in a speech in early 45, was it? And talking about freedom to health, education, housing, and jobs. My God, if only he had been alive to push that agenda.
That resonates with you.
Yeah. I believe in socialism. I don't think capitalism takes care of our people. We can't get used to the yin and yang of the market and the crises that we continually face. Granted, socialist countries have the same thing, but I feel we need a socialist government to protect, to create a mattress for our people to fall on when we go through times like this.
You are not satisfied with simply working. You are not satisfied with being in a nice play with nice people, getting a nice paycheck, and getting some nice publicity. It's not going to get it done for you. Never has, never will.
I guess I've got a bigger ego than most people, and think that I have to keep shooting my mouth off to be identified, to be noticed.
Why is that ego?
Well, there are some artists who say, I will let my work speak for myself and my ego. I will stand by my work and the work will be. I've never felt that Bertolt Brecht created a wonderful panel in which he said, theater is not something to emulate society, it is a hammer to beat it with. So I am merely furthering that hammer by shooting my mouth off. And I would tell you, as you discussed earlier when I had the show canceled, that you pay a price. And I'm fully aware of the price you pay. When you advocate a particular candidate, a particular idea, 50% of the people may well say, screw him. Who the hell does he think he is? Well, you pay the price. So you don't like it, you'll stop watching me.
You know, when we first found out that you were booked for the show, and I thought, great, we have Mr. Grant, and everybody says that. But then, as I really got ready for the show, I realized we were going to have so much more than that. And I am so glad that even though that's a part of your portfolio, you're able to talk about so much more. You honor us, Ed Asner, by being here at PBS, and I thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
You're a wonderful host.
You're a wonderful guest.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Hackensack University Medical Center, Berkeley College, TD Bank, Qualcare Inc., a local managed care company covering 750,000 New Jersey residents, the law firm of Gibbons PC, Verizon Communications, and by the Russell Berry Foundation. Promotional support provided by the Star Ledger and NJ.com, Everything Jersey, and by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association and its monthly magazine, New Jersey Business. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.
I'm John Campbell, Berkeley College, class of '98, associate's degree in paralegal studies.
I'm Busi Matsiko Andan, Berkeley College class of 2004, bachelor's degree in business administration.
Melvin Montalvo, class of '91 and 2003, degrees in accounting and management.
Simi Papachin, class of 2001, bachelor's degree in business administration.
From different walks of life, our students succeed in different ways, yet their first step is exactly the same. Berkeley College.
Hello, I'm Rafael P. Roman.
And I'm Steve Adubato.
Join us every week on New Jersey Capitol Report.
Because we'll ask the questions that you want and need answered.
Airing on NJTV, 13, and WHYY. Check your local listings.